Steph Curry shooting deep from the three, like the GOAT decision. Ain't no baiting it. I can make it see their light like I'm a veteran. I'm out the sports. And sports is my medicine.
Yo, what's the deal? It's your boy D. Jeff, the Doctor of Sports, and this is the Sports is My Medicine podcast. So, 7 days away, folks. Actually, 4 days if you want to count Thursday night football. Detroit Lions, Kansas City Chiefs. It's going down. My Detroit Lions gonna shock the world, but that's a story for another day. Today we are going to do the final final two divisions of the NFL preview. I've done all other 6 divisions. You can please check out the other 6 divisions of the Sports is My Medicine podcast, NFC, AFC division preview. If you click the link or subscribe to the channel, check them out. You can see what I feel about each team individually, each division. I'm going to start off by saying tomorrow, Labor Day, live on YouTube, we will have the official NFL preview show. I'm going to tell you all the division winners again. I'm going to give you my prediction for the Super Bowl, playoffs, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year. So get ready for tomorrow's show. It's the last show of the regular season, of the preseason. I'll also do a quick preview of the Lions Kansas City Chiefs game, but I'll do a more in-depth preview of that come Wednesday. But tomorrow is the day, live on YouTube, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But today we're going to go with the NFC North and the AFC North. I'm going to start with the AFC. So, Cincinnati Bengal fans, you're up. Last season, they were 12-4. Everything is about Joe Burrow with the Cincinnati Bengals. Will the calf injury linger? Is he 100%? Will he play game 1? Everything hinges on that with him or with the Bengals. Super Bowl is their ceiling. That's a team that's ready and primed to play for a Super Bowl. So, without the top 5 pick, offensively Super Bowl is their ceiling. Without Joe Burrow, it's their top 5 pick, is what I was trying to say. They're going to receive a top 5 pick if Joe Burrow can't play and can't be there for the season. But everything indicates that Joe Burrow will be able to play. They have one of the best offenses in football. Jamar Chase, Boyd, T. Higgins, running back Joe Mixon. They can score with anybody. Rookie running back out of Illinois, Chase Brown. He's gonna be nice. He can relieve Joe Mixon. They also got Chris. I can't remember the name. His first name was Chris. He came out of the University of Michigan, and he's their third string running back. He does play sparingly. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. But the Bengals have all the weapons they need to make a Super Bowl run. Defensively, no huge names, but they got star power on the edge with Sam Hubbard. And safety, Dax Hill was hurt last season. He's primed and ready to make that leap in his second season. I believe that their defense is very, very good and even good enough to make a Super Bowl run and beat the top teams in the AFC. My prediction for the Cincinnati Bengals will be 12-4. I believe they were 12-4 last year. They'll stay steady right there at 12-4 again as long as Joe Burrow stays healthy. Baltimore Ravens, 10-7 last season. Lamar Jackson bet on himself and he got paid. That's a good thing. Lamar Jackson got paid. I say Lamar Jackson should thank the Eagles, their ownership, Jalen Hurts for setting a new market because he wasn't getting the money Deshaun Watson got. That was out of the question. That's what he wanted. He wasn't going to get that. Once Jalen Hurts signed his deal, they were able to go to Lamar and say, this is what you can get. You can get money in this range right here. We ain't giving you Deshaun Watson money, but we'll give you the money that Jalen Hurts got a little bit better. Now he can stay in Baltimore. And not only did he get his money, but he got weapons. They finally gave him some guys that can actually play football. OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., is now healthy, ready to prove that he's healthy. Rashad Bateman, first-round pick a few years ago from Minnesota. He's talented, and he can now possibly be a better number 2 with a guy like OBJ. Zay Flowers, the rookie wide receiver, he's a stud. Lamar has no excuses. People who make excuses for Lamar, you can't make excuses anymore. Lamar has to take care of business. Lamar has to be a pocket passer at some point. He can do all that running shit, but he got to be able to throw the ball from the pocket. Period. Zay Flowers has been killing in camp. He got Mark Andrews at tight end, one of the best tight ends in football. Got a good running game with J.K. Dobbins. Lamar Jackson has to make it happen this year. Defensively, Roquan Smith in year 2 of that on that defensive scheme, he should elevate. Edge rusher David Ojabo coming off an injury. I think he played a little bit last year, but he started the season on the IR. And he is ready to make that next step as well. 11-6 for the Baltimore Ravens is my prediction. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Last year they were 9-8. And we all know the greatness of Mike Tomlin. Never had a losing season. One of the best coaching jobs I've seen in a long time based on what he had last year. And he still didn't have a losing season. Kenny Pickett and wide receiver George Pickens, that's going to be a show. They ready. George Pickens is a baller. Kenny Pickett looked like he the real deal. Looked like Pittsburgh made the right choice. Allen Robinson III, they signed him. Hopefully he can get his act together. He's been passed around a lot lately and hasn't been productive, but hopefully they're hoping that Allen Robinson can open up everything and become the Allen Robinson that he was a few years back. The Steelers got to get back to using Najee Harris in both the run and the pass game, as well as getting them rest. Dalen Warren, running back, I believe he went to North Carolina. He has to be able to relieve Najee Harris, give him that rest that he needs so that they can go forward in that running game and Najee can be productive like he was his rookie year. TJ Watt on defense has to stay healthy. Kind of like Joe Burrow in Cincinnati on offense, TJ Watt is important to what the Pittsburgh Steelers do all around, not just offensively but defensively too. I'm very intrigued by the rookie legacy player, Joey Porter Jr. Everybody knows dad, Joey Porter Sr., played for Pittsburgh. Now he's in Pittsburgh. It's going to be interesting to see how he progressed throughout the year. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Pittsburgh Steelers can do this year, although I believe they'll be about 10-7. They'll win one more game than they did last year, indicating that everybody stay healthy. TJ Watt is going to be healthy, and I believe they'll be 10-7. Last in that AFC North division are the Cleveland Browns. They were 7-10 last year, and the question for them, of course, is will we get Deshaun Watson of 3 years ago, or will we get this new version ever since all the shit that happened? We've seen recently the Browns went all in on Deshaun, gave him that crazy guaranteed contract, and it's time for them to get a return on the investment. Cleveland has been the laughingstock in the NFL with my Detroit Lions for a long time. Baker Mayfield took them to the playoffs and beat Pittsburgh a few years back, but Deshaun Watson was supposed to elevate them to that next level. He didn't do it last year. Of course, he was suspended, but for off season, no suspension, no legal issues hanging over his head. It's time for him to make that next step. He got Amari Cooper, who's a bona fide number 1 wide receiver now. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's the number 2. He's a good number 2. He's not supposed to be a number 1. That's why they went out and got Amari Cooper. Elijah Moore is a very good number 3. So they got weapons for him. And then you got Nick Chubb running the ball. Now, Nick Chubb don't really have a viable backup right now. Kareem Hunt is no longer on that roster. But Nick Chubb don't get hurt. Nick Chubb can catch the ball at the backfield. He can run it. You just got to find rest for Nick Chubb at some point. The Browns, they got great defensive players on every level, led by Myles Garrett. Everybody know Myles Garrett is a beast. Denzel Ward at cornerback, very good cornerback, one of the top 5-10 cornerbacks in the football. So they will need help of the others. Shaq say the others. Other linebackers, other corners, safeties, linemen. They got to get help in order for them to succeed. It's a very tough division, very tough conference. So Cleveland can, they very well can win this division, and they can make the playoffs. I think they'll match the Pittsburgh Steelers record at 10-7. If they'll make the playoffs, you'll have. If I believe they'll make the playoffs, you'll find that out tomorrow on the NFL prediction and NFL prediction show of the playoffs. That's the AFC North: Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Baltimore. Now we're going to go to the NFC South, which is my Detroit Lions division. I'm going to do the Lions last. All you Lions fans that's paying attention, I know you're waiting to hear what I got to say about us, but just got to wait a little bit longer. I'm going to start with the Minnesota Vikings. They were 13-4 last season. Kirk Cousins is the ultimate Jekyll and Hyde quarterback. He looks like a top 5 guy, then he bottoms out, looks like a bottom 5 guy. Fortunately for him, he has the best receiver in football. Justin Jefferson is a bona fide star. He's a beast. I don't expect anything to change out of Justin Jefferson. They got the rookie from USC, Jordan Addison. That's going to help them. They lost Adam Thielen, but Jordan Addison is going to be a very good wide receiver. And him and Justin Jefferson should work very good together. They just paid T.J. Hockenson a shitload of money. I don't know why they paid T.J. Hockenson like that, but hey, he set the market for tight ends. Now he has to produce at that level of a Travis Kelce or a George Kittle. No more Dalvin Cook. Alexander Mattison, they hoping he's going to be what Dalvin was. I'm not so sure about that. But they also signed Myles Gaskin, used to play for Miami. I believe any running back room with Myles Gaskin in it is doomed for failure. Excuse me. I'm not a big Myles Gaskin guy, so hopefully for Minnesota, they are able to run the football the way they need to. The Vikings will score points, but they will ultimately not be able to stop anybody because the defense lost a lot. I think they still got Harrison Smith at safety. They don't have many good corners. I think they won a ridiculous amount of one-score games last season. It was weird. They won like 10 one-score games. They had that historic comeback against the Colts. They were down like 28-7 in the third quarter or some crap like that. I don't think you can sustain that in the NFL. And I think they're going to take a huge leap back this season. I predict their record to be 9-8. The Green Bay Packers, 8-9 last season. I seen Brett Favre leave. I seen Aaron Rodgers leave. Brett Favre passed the baton to Aaron Rodgers, who became an NFL Hall of Famer, or will be a Hall of Famer once he retires. Brett Favre is a Hall of Famer, even though he's a shitbag of a person, based on, all the speculation he did in Mississippi. That's neither here nor there. Dare I say Jordan Love is next? I know everybody in our division pray to God that he's not. We're tired of seeing Green Bay have the luxury of having a quarterback for 10-plus years that helps win games and win divisions, but we will see. He looked amazing in the preseason, and he has exactly what every young first young rookie or first-year starting quarterback needs, and that's a running game with Dillon and Jones. A great two-headed monster. He also has very young receivers in Christian Watkins and Romeo Dobbs. And they're ready to take that next step without having to hear the prima donna, Aaron Rodgers, throw them under the bus every time they drop a pass or don't run a route right. Jordan Love don't have the cachet to do that. Even though he's their quarterback, he probably could pull him to the side and say that, but he's not going to go to the media like Aaron Rodgers' punk ass used to do. So Dobbs and Watkins, very good 1-2 punch. Jordan Love looked pretty good. So we're going to see what that offense is going to be like. They also drafted Jaden Reed, wide receiver from Michigan State. Expect him to do big things with Green Bay as well. On defense, they should be solid. Rashawn Gary back healthy on that defensive line. Quay Walker, if he can stay out of his own way, very good linebacker. One of the best cornerbacks in football, Jair Alexander. But I think ultimately this team will be better than people think. I actually hope I'm wrong on this because I'm tired of Green Bay, but I expect them to be 9-7, and they will compete in this division. They will compete in this division. We got the Chicago Bears next. Everybody knows this is my least favorite team in the NFL. I'm not a fan of the Bears. Justin Fields, I'm not a fan of Justin Fields because he went to that school in Ohio. The love of Justin Fields nationally is sickening, and probably because I really dislike the Bears. But if this kid learns to go through his progressions and find second and third options instead of just pulling it down and running after that first option is not available, then the Bears can be scary. If I'm taking my bias hat off, I'm taking my Lions hat off and being a fan of somebody who just loves the game, watch the game, and understands the game, I understand that the Bears are a better team. And Justin Fields is a good quarterback, but he has to be able to go through progressions and stop running so much, throw from the pocket. You can run and use that athleticism, but now they've given you weapons. Guys like DJ Moore, who that was a huge signing, one of the best signings in the offseason. He's a true number one. They can move Chase Claypool to number 2, coming over from Pittsburgh last year. He's not a number 1. So they have Khalil Herbert as a running back who's a bowling ball. He can catch the ball in the backfield. He can run between the tackles. He got speed. The offensive line is a question, and that's going to be huge for them, which is why I think they're going to be hindered. But at the wide receiver position, at the running back position, at those positions that matter on offense, they're very talented. They made a valiant effort to shake up the defense, getting T.J. Edwards from Philadelphia, Tremaine Edmonds from Buffalo. So that's 2 linebackers that can go down, get downhill, make tackles. They can cover out of the backfield. So the core is a lot better. Expect rookie Noah Sewell from Oregon to also step in that linebacker spot and be productive. Defensive line and secondary will be an issue, especially defensive line. I know they signed the pass rushing specialist Yannick Ngakoue, but that's all he do is rush the passer. He can't stop the run. He's not a run stopping edge guy. You're gonna bring him in on 3rd and long and hope he can get to the quarterback. I don't think that's gonna be enough. Safety Eddie Jackson is a ball hawk, but they need more. It's just not ready. I think they're a year or 2 away. My prediction for the Chicago Bears is going to be 6-11. And last but certainly not least, my Detroit Lions. I'm going to take the hat off for this one because although I am biased, that's my squad. This is my true feeling about what the Detroit Lions will do this year. It's not about me liking them as a team. It's about what I believe I know about football, what I believe I know about players on the roster, talent level, personnel, coaching. Everything is involved in this analysis of the Detroit Lions. 9-8 last season. We do know the story. They started 1-6. Hard knocks. NFL fell in love with them. Fell in love with Dan Campbell. Finished the season 8-2. Sent Aaron Rodgers' ass packing to the AFC. And now national attention and expectations have been bestowed upon our Detroit Lions like never before. They put them on Thursday Night Football, first game of the season, prime time against the Super Bowl champions. They want to see if these boys are for real. David Montgomery coming over from the Chicago Bears, I think is a very underrated signing. I know he's going to take over for Jamal Williams, who had 17 touchdowns for us last year. But David Montgomery is a better bell cow than Jamal Williams is. So I think that's an upgrade. Jahmyr Gibbs coming out of Alabama, Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. I think he's a step up from DeAndre Swift, faster. Hopefully he can stay healthy. He's going to catch the ball out the backfield. He's going to run between the tackles. He's a home run hitter, and they're going to use him in 50 different ways. You just watch and see. The offensive line is the best in football. Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver, is a stud. I don't think he gets the recognition that he deserves. I think he's a top 5 wide receiver. If not 5, definitely 10. But there's people out there that have him between 12 and 20. I just don't think that's correct. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver. But at the same time, that's where I worry, because after him, it's not really much. As far as Jahmyr Gibbs, again, I think he should be a 1,200-yard guy from scrimmage, 600 receiving, 600 rushing. That'll be a damn good rookie season, but we'll see. Can Jared Goff continue to play at an elite level? We'll see. That's one of the questions that everybody has is, can Jared Goff do what he has been doing? He was one of the best quarterbacks statistically in football the last 10 games last year. I think 29 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the season, or 7 interceptions, something like that. But he hadn't thrown an interception in like 3-4 games, 300-something passes. I'm not sure of the numbers per se, but I know it's been a while. Those are the questions regarding Jared Goff. Also, with the suspension of Jameson Williams, we need somebody to step up as a deep threat. I'm not sure who that's going to be yet. Antoine Green, 7th-round pick from North Carolina. We're hoping he can step up. But we just need somebody to complement Brown. We got Marvin Jones Jr., Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond. We got some very talented receivers, but they're not. It just doesn't move the needle for most people. So that's one of the downfalls of the team, I believe, is that they're light at wide receiver. And even when Jameson Williams come back after being suspended for 6 weeks, it's going to take time for him to get acclimated to the offense and get in the rhythm, because he ain't been there. And, of course, they're going to already be rolling. So we'll see. The defense has totally been revamped, totally new secondary with cornerback Cam Sutton. They got Emmanuel Mosley from the 49ers, C.J. Gardner-Johnson from Philly, probably the steal of the draft, Brian Branch from Alabama. Brian Branch is going to be nice. Look out for this kid. Tracy Walker is back. Jacobs is back. Tracy Walker was hurt last year, all season, so he's back. Kirby Joseph. We picked off Brett Favre last year 3 times. Last throw Brett Favre made in a Green Bay Packer uniform was an interception to Kirby Joseph. And he's intercepted him 3 times in 2 years. 3 times last year alone. I'm sorry, he's a rookie. Was the most by any player to intercept Aaron Rodgers. So just a little tidbit. But Brian Branch, that defensive line, Aiden Hutchinson, you got Aiden Hutchinson, James Houston, Isaiah Buggs in the middle, John Comiskey. They got everything they need. Jack Campbell, they drafted him out of Iowa. Malcolm Rodriguez, another linebacker. Derek Brooks, the other linebacker who's supposed to take that next step out of Purdue. They got everything they need to make a run. They should win this division, and I'm predicting they'll be 11-6. If you listen to this podcast, that will tell you that the Lions, in my opinion, will win this division. So that's a little sneak preview of tomorrow. We already know that I believe the Detroit Lions will win the NFC North and host a playoff game. So that's the NFC North. I've completed the division previews. Again, please check out the archives on my page, my YouTube page, The Doctor of Sports. Go back, find your team, find your conference, see what I think about your team. If you like it, good. If you don't, too bad. It's just my prediction. Tomorrow, again, remember, tomorrow, YouTube, live, NFL preview show. Super Bowl predictions, division predictions, Offensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, MVP, all the fixings, all the things. We're going to talk about NFL. Slight preview of Lions, Chiefs. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for some football? Because it's here. It's here, baby. And it starts next Sunday. It starts Thursday night, but the full slate next Sunday. So everybody, tell your significant others, leave you alone on Sundays. It's football time. Thanks for listening. I am D. Jeff, the Doctor of Sports. This was the Sports is My Medicine podcast. Hope you guys have a great day and a happy holiday.